Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands in a Radio, where we take a conversational look at inexpensive shortwave radios, other stuff, and then sometimes real gems. And boy, today is in that real gem category. Wild, crazy category. First, just let me start off with that magical disclaimer, and I don't know how clear I can make it because I've already said it. I take a conversational look at radios. If you are after instantaneous answers, if you cannot handle somebody veering off on a tangent and telling a story or two, if you can't stand the thought of people sitting around in a lawn chair just talking about radios and having a good time and having fun, if you have the attention span of a gnat, I guarantee this channel and this video is not for you. You have been warned. Just back away from it. Go watch a food challenge or a cat video or something else to keep your attention. Now, to the fun part. Mac, longtime supporter of the channel, contacted me, said, I want to send you a radio for your collection. What you got? He has a Sony ICF 7600 DS. I've taken a look at the 7600 GR, good radio. The 7600 line, there is a whole host of 7600s. There's the ICF 7600, 7600A, 7600W, 7600D, 7600DS, 7600G, and maybe G and GR. There's just a host of letters after the 7600. Anyway, 7600D was back about 1985-ish or so, and then they came out with the 7600 DS. We're looking at 1986 to 1989 on this particular model, so we're going back 40 years old for this thing. Absolutely pristine condition. I am absolutely just blown away excited with this. Thank you, Mac. I hope everybody lights the comment section up and thanks Mac for his generosity. Unbelievable. Where do we start? 7 3/8 inches. It's a bigger radio, kind of like the GR. It's bigger, 7 3/8, 4 3/4 tall, 1 5/16 inch thick. 5/16 is always hard for me to say. Gosh, I do have to remember it has a dual power switch on top. The main power is up here. I've got it turned on, the little green thing right up here, on and off. And the reason that's on there is so you don't inadvertently turn it on. The buttons are very, very soft to the touch. The buttons are very, very soft. You can just on and off I love that. Don't build them like this anymore, I guarantee. And anyway, I didn't really measure the speaker. It's the size, I would say half the size of the radio is speaker. Speaker grill, I'm going to say probably 3.5, probably 3 inches, I suppose. We do have a nice clock up here. It's always running, even with the main power off, it runs. Hour, minute, and set button for that. We have a standby timer, all that stuff. It's pretty close to 11:43 today, I think. I believe it's actually pretty accurate. We have an on-off switch, just like I said, in the secondary on and off, with a sleep timer button, separate sleep timer, so you don't have to keep digging around with the on button. Very, very nice. We have a scan tuning, start and stop. It's very nice. It'll browse to the next. Everybody likes the word browse now because scanning is, it skips channels when you scan. So everybody now browses to the next channel. Same difference. This will browse to the next channel, hold for 1.5 seconds, and then move on to the next. The scan tuning it's fantastic. Then we have our main tuning is just an up and down toggle switch here, and you just go up or down, very easy. Band select, you can hold that down and then move between like your shortwave bands, your international shortwave bands. This will only scan the international shortwave bands, but you can get in between there for continuous looks at things if you want to do that. Direct entry keypad, AM, FM, and execute. I have already pointed this at people and it didn't do anything. When I press the execute button, it must be a defect, as it didn't work. I just set it to stun. I didn't set it to kill. I just hit execute. Oh, I'm probably not supposed to tell jokes either, I think. Let's see, I'm not supposed to tell jokes, not supposed to tell stories, not supposed to babble on about nothing. Can't make up words, I'm an idiot, a joke. Listen, what else? Boy, I can get jaded pretty quick. Anyway, I digress. Direct entry keypad, very, very nice, smooth. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's an amazing, amazing front panel. Side panel, and we'll just flip it around here. Hopefully we stay in focus. We've got a fine tuning knob, and there comes in handy if it finds something and it's just not quite right, you can fine tune it. Of course, it also comes in handy with single sideband. It has single sideband. And we can do a normal, a fine scan, or a single sideband scan and really dial things in from there. Tone and music, we'll leave it on music because it's a little more treble than the news section. News is more bassy. And whatever you want to call it, potato, I call it a bass and treble almost. A volume slider, very, very handy. The back side, there's not a whole lot on the back side but a world map. See if I can hold this up. I'm actually trying to be pretty gentle with this thing. It has two separate battery doors down here. The battery doors, the first door on the left is for the computer clock battery. Those are two AA batteries. The positive on top goes to the left. The positive on the bottom goes to the right. The second door right here, labeled radio battery, is 4 AA batteries. The two positive on top go to the right. The two positive on the bottom go to the left. There's also a time set button up here, little indented button that you can press to set the clock. And all your screws to take it apart are marked, which we won't get into that. Also has the pull-up antenna that you pull up on this, and it extends 27 inches. Not going to do that today. I'm taking it very, very easy with this antenna. You're 34 years old, and I don't want to mess this antenna up. You know, on the GR model, it would get loose and couldn't be tightened. And I don't want this. This is not that way, but I don't want to get there either just by playing around with it. So I'm going to leave that where it is. We'll use our sloper antenna over here, and it will help FM and shortwave reception, so there's no need really to even hoist that antenna up. On the left-hand side, we have a switch, sensitivity switch, high and low. We'll keep it on high. If we get overpowered by something, we can kick it into low. I apologize about the wind that just decided to blow. It happens every time. There's our external antenna jack. Here's our external antenna that we're going to get into. Might as well just get into it while we're getting into it. Like I said, that works on FM and shortwave. Already tested that, so no panic there. Stereo headphone jack. Stereo headphone jack is here. This is a line out. It shows a little cassette recorder there. It's that old. You could do a line out to a cassette recorder or a digital recorder today and record the radio. DC adapter, 6-volt DC adapter is there. That's about the end of that. I haven't looked on the bottom. I don't think there's anything. No, there's just little little feeties on the bottom, and that's it there. Getting back in focus, like I said, it is going to be, I thought, do I break this down into 2-minute segments that everybody can digest, or just let her roll with one big long video? And I don't like those little 2-minute segments where people say nothing, and I just don't like it. Weighs 1.4 pounds. Some of the little facts and figures of it all. eHam Radio has the D model. They don't have a review for the DS. They have the D model is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars. I would say the DS model is right there. The shortwave coverage is 1.8 megahertz to 29.999 megahertz. Just does the international bands. CryptoMuseum.com said the DS model was manufactured from 86 to 89, so we can only guess what the year is on this. It's 33, 34 years old. And I think that's about all the notes that I have. I did bring out a tablet this time. I just don't think I can see it, and that's just part of my visual impairment, that I can't see tablets and things very well, especially out in any kind of daylight at all. I was going to look up the shortwave channels, try to. It's slow enough that I think I could look up the channels and make an educated guess. But then it opens up that can of worm that everybody thinks they know what every station is, and I'm wrong and they're right. And so that's why I don't do it. You know, there's 1 or 2% that'll ruin it for 98% of the people. But we might give it a try. I don't know. Let's just take a look. Let's start off at FM, because that's what everybody's after. Not FM, but
for Tales from the Track featuring Dario Franchitti.
It's just absolutely amazing audio. This audio, I think, is, and you can also fast zip along too.
In addition to auctions and raffles, seminars and workshops, find premier.
We can't get tangled around too much music, or YouTube gets real nervous with that. And then I end up losing a video. To enter in, to enter in a direct frequency, all you do is you pick whether it's AM or FM. This would be FM. 98.1, execute. Nobody died.
And stucco used on the exteriors of houses.
That's our local FM station. You can also drop that sensitivity down.
That we used to see was fence boards
Didn't do a whole lot.
with little trim pieces in between.
What else? Oh, let's go to AM and poke around a bit.
10 vertical
Oops.
fence boards as siding.
Let's just start out at 5:30. So, our AM, I really want to see if the couple of little bass lines that I do during the daytime, if that comes in.
And how is all of this?
There's 700 WLW, Cincinnati. Well, at this location, this would be location number 3. I'm probably about 20 miles farther away.
Than you are today. In a recent survey of 1,000 middle-income Americans, only
1390 is Seymour, which is even further away now. I'm going to say I'm probably 35 miles away, maybe 40. There's that. Let's look at 1070. That's Indianapolis. Of course, we're closer to Indianapolis now. That's very, very cool. Let's just for giggles, let's just start a scan right about there and see what it finds. Now that moves a little bit quicker. Quicker than I thought it would go. Of course, it's not finding anything. The stations are just too weak right now. The daytime, and I know I should do all this. Now, I did do a nighttime scan on this radio, and you say, well, why didn't you show us two hands? Because I don't do indoor videos anymore. Just life changes to where I can't do indoor videos, so you just have to take my word for it. Nighttime medium wave scan, it found 56 stations. Second only to the Kato KA1102 that found 60, 65, 64, 66, somewhere in there. I don't have it right in front of me, so I can't. It was in the mid 60s of medium wave stations. So this is the second best that I own in medium wave scans. Very, very interesting. Anyway, but during the daytime, not going to get a whole lot, but I really want to hone in on the shortwave end of it and see where that takes us. And we can start 3900, and you see how fast it does. I did say it scans painfully slow, and it did. It did scan slow last night? 2 nights ago, I guess it was. It scanned really, really slow. Now this is going fast. And I almost emailed Mac and said, is there something I'm missing because it scans so slow? I don't know if maybe even the fine tuning has something to do with it. I'm just not sure. Mac will probably answer the question for everybody. It doesn't change the way it operates. Really doubt we're going to find anything at this time of day in the 75 meter range. We can go 60. Let's just look around. And we also can, there's WWV. Let's just go through our WWVs real quick and see. There's 10 megahertz. That's just booming in. You can see everything below 10 megahertz is going to be fairly weak during the day. Everything above 10 megahertz is going to be more populated during the day. And then it switches. You can, if you listen to it long enough, sorry for the droning on, if you listen long enough, you can actually, you can hear that sag, that it all starts to, the frequency, population, propagation, whatever, starts going lower and lower and lower. 10, 11 o'clock at night, you're into 3800 or whatever. It's interesting to follow. Let's just also,
At the tone, 15 hours.
there's 15.
Minutes. Coordinated universal time.
We can try 20. Nothing there. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go. You can skip around all the bands. We were at, or did we do 49? I don't think so. Let's just try it and look. And we'll move on up. See what 41 does. Ideally, what we need to do, and there again, now I wished I could slow it down. Whatever I did to slow it down, I wished I could slow it down. One thing I did do to find out it was continuous is you can and I wonder if it goes continually from there. See, we started at 8 megahertz, something that's not in the international band, and just see what happens at that point. Apologize about the traffic. There's a little more out there than normal. There's 93, 95. We can actually stop it to listen to whatever it is. And then it goes back. Okay, so when you start it in the middle of a band, not in the international band, it'll go through the next international band and then just start over in that international band. Like this started at 8 megahertz, scanned all the way through, got into the 31 meter stuff, and then just cycles through in the 31 meter. So that's interesting. And that's, a lot of them do that. And at first I was really confused about it. Of course, everything with radio confuses me. So I was confused about it until I really played with it and figured out how it all works. But we got 10 megahertz. We heard that. Let's go on up to the 25 meter band. We should get more activity here, I think. I want to go back because I heard something. Not really a station. Thought I heard something. So there you go. And the scan's probably not the best way to go. We can get the most powerful stuff, but I noticed, and there again, I hope Mac can chime in and help me out on this. 2 nights ago, that scan was that slow. And now today it just zips right along. And I was trying to figure out, wow, how do I speed this thing up? I'm confused on that one. And the manual didn't, we just glossed over all the scanning part, just start and stop, and that's all you get out of it. And even manuals written back then are pretty weak. But we can look at this again. You can see how it stops for a second and a half, then moves on to the next. And then just keeps right on going. Yeah, we'll zip through this and see, and then we can pick up some of the brighter spots in all of it and look around a little bit. Absolute magnificent radio, though. When you really take your time, sit down with it, and just manually tune, slowly manually tune, it just becomes spectacular. There's 19 meter. I can almost hear something. There's 15140. We'll keep rolling here, and it may be all the propagation's going to be out here too. Maybe all we're going to get. We're giving it our best shot, though. There was something back there. There we go.
There are 2 kingdoms.
So it skipped over that.
Darkness, which has to do with the
So that's not the best thing to do, I don't think. Best thing to do is just this easy tune. And then you can even go into fine tuning and try to bring it in. Of course, now we're out of band. Let's go on up to 13. Let's just one more time, then we'll do some other stuff, because I am watching the clock. Yeah, there's very, very little up in this area anyway. And we're out of band. Okay, well, let's go back down to 11,600. for a bit. And let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Everybody likes to watch my finger bounce on this or whatever. See if we can pick up some of the weaker stuff. I don't know if I can see. Let me see if I can see.
Durante la graduación en Caracas de docentes en
Don't know if I can see.
calificó Maduro las palabras de Abrams, de vulgares contra el legado de
Frequency 11760.
La Cancillería de Rusia expresó su indignación ante las sanciones de Estados Unidos contra el jefe de la diplomacia de Venezuela por vía de armas, y consideró la medida como otro intento de presionar a ese país sudamericano.
En un comunicado aseguró el ministro ruso de Asuntos Exteriores que Washington demuestra repetidamente un rechazo categórico a los métodos de diálogo para resolver el disterido político.
Doesn't sound Korean and doesn't sound Arabic, so I have no idea.
Cualquier oportunidad para la negociación civilizada con las autoridades legítimas.
Sometimes nothing works out right, that's for sure, when you're trying to figure out what you're listening to. And that's part of the fun of it. I rarely use that anymore. I just listen for the fun of it. $11,860. Spanish might be Radio Marty. Possibly. I don't know if that's Spanish or not, so I'm gonna guess. Yeah, did you hear him just say Radio Marty? There you go. You can't argue with that one. Something way almost sounds like a soccer game of some kind. That's fun to listen to. I don't know if I can get in trouble for that music or not. It's on shortwave. I shouldn't get in trouble for it. It says the only listing is WWCR, Nashville, Tennessee. I'm using an app called Shortwave Schedules. It's, I don't know, $1.99 or something for the premium version. It's very cheap. The only app that I've ever paid for in my life. Seems to be fairly accurate. But, you know, in this world, fairly accurate is not always good enough. I also want to go up to I'm interested in this 13710. I find that relaxing. Saudi Arabia, BSKSA, Holy Quran, Saudi Arabia in Arabic. Oh, that's cool. I find that relaxing for some reason. Let's make sure we're back in focus here. Maybe we scattered off a bit. Oh, let's just tell you what, let's go back. Because if I edit that blurry part out, then I'll be right there. Because I could always cut the blurry part out. Anyway, I digress. Now I'm starting to talk to myself. Oh, God. We're in trouble now. I also wanted to look at, let's just roll on up here to, 225, 14225 or so. There we go. Single sideband.
By the way, a Cuban vessel, in the Gulf of Mexico. He was
Very, very sensitive with that fine tuning.
on a small fishing boat, and they were refugees, we thought. Actually, what happened is they didn't
It sounds a little better.
deal.
There's your single sideband.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Charlie.
Some kind of a contest going on. A lot of stuff out there. That's interesting. Always fun. Listen in. More fun to participate, really. Oh, let's go. Where else should we go? Let's go up this way. We already did 15140. Did we already do this? I think we did. We'll do it again. See if anything's out there. Now I would at home probably go about this slow just to make sure I get in between everything and make sure that I'm not missing anything. Just for the sake of the clock, I move a little faster here if I can. Okay, let's go down to 31 meter. There's always some interesting stuff out here. Of course, we looked at 9395. It's not really in the international band, but it's a super strong station. And it's really, what you're hearing is really not a mute on tuning. It is a 5 kilohertz jump is what you're hearing. 20, 25, and like that. That's what you're hearing. Oh, shit. Let's turn it back off of single sideband. I don't think we missed anything, though, coming up. I have it off to turn it off. And flip the music to the news to music and the music to news. Let's just go backwards. It's those visual mistakes I talk about. It is getting a lot worse, that's for sure. My gosh, my eyes are not happy. And I would say there will be a day that I'm going to have to rename the channel Blind Idiot and Radio, I guess. I don't know. It's not looking good for the home team. I'll just thumb back through here quickly because I know we were already there. There's 9. Yeah, okay, come on. There's 9395. Just for giggles. You can go back to our single sideband. Now, if you've noticed, there is no upper or lower sideband to this. It's just a single sideband switch. You flip it in single sideband, it picks where it's at. So, it's just the way it is. I don't design them. I think it does a damn good job, that's for sure. Williamsburg, West Virginia, I think.
Roger, roger, that's correct. Located here in Williamsburg, ORSKL0 operating on his rig. We'll be working here on the bench and just heard you guys there. Just wanted to say hi and good luck with the special event there. And tell Will and Bill I said hi.
Very, very neat.
Say hi back, Asha, and thank you for stopping by.
Cool.
So have fun with you that station today. 73 AI4 WU.
See what special event it was. I can't hear. So anyway, we'll move on. I don't know if we can get into the 80-meter end of it. Yeah, it's not the right time of day for that one. So I think we've covered just about everything. We could thumb through this quickly. I think we may have already. Then you can, where was that at? You can use your fine-tuning knob, put it in fine-tune, and then see how you can use your knob then to fine-tune that weak signal. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. What a fantastic radio. God, I haven't gushed over this thing for 25 minutes or so. What a fantastic radio.
Raising like Ferrari engine. It's gonna be there to give hope.
17640. Did I look that up already? I'm just kind of getting lost and looking around and enjoying the radio.
That's the men's race. What about the elite women's race in this year? The field even more loaded than
Now this says 17640 is BBC United Kingdom in English.
Champion here in London, and the current New York but 3 times London winner Mary Keitany. She broke the women-only world record here in 2017. But then successfully chased the
I can let you read the tablet if you want. There. If you can read that or not, I don't know. BBC United Kingdom. That's all I can do. All I can do is read stuff and say that's what it is. If y'all want to argue about it, you can argue amongst yourselves. Mentioned an awful lot about the UK. Huh, that's interesting. That's like really, really interesting. So there's stuff out there. Now this 27-inch antenna would not do a thing. You probably would hear that, Radio Havana, Cuba, and like that. And the 27-inch antenna will give you the impression of, oh, shortwave's dead. There's nothing out here. You know, this sucks. What a rotten hobby. And again, I say, and I can't say it enough, shortwave's not dead. You need a better antenna. You need a different location. Get out here. Location number 3 is an abandoned house with no power, no interference. I am in the middle of absolute Egypt. There's nothing. And shortwave's not dead, is it? But we create the interference that we create, the cells and the routers and the wirelessness and there I go making up words again. All that stuff has just piled up so bad that it makes it appear shortwave's dead. Shortwave's far from dead. At any given moment of any given day, there are over 1,500 stations all around the world. Now, is that number way down from what it used to be? Absolutely. I will not deny that. Is it getting worse? Absolutely. I will not deny that. But I will argue the fact if you think shortwave's dead. That I will argue. And I don't like to argue. Unless you poke the bear. Now that was interesting. And we'll just toggle through. We're out of band now. I think we've covered just about everything on this. Just takes a soft tap of the button. It's off. It just does not get any better than this thing at all. We could let's just drive people even more nuts. And let's just try to listen on medium wave one last time. You can hear, I can turn it up maybe, and you can hear some stuff. There's stuff off in the background. And I know the correct way to do it is to sit here and spin the radio around like a top. I understand that. I do it at home. I don't do it here because I don't want things to get out of control. And I don't do it at home because I don't want to mess this, something slide off somewhere and I damage this thing. I would have a stroke. No need to do that. Now let's just thumb through this real quick. We've already,
from John Laws.
WLW.
I think you'll see probably one of the most explosive.
We've already gone way over that 30-minute limit that people's heads start to explode. So now it's just it's my channel. Why do I do what I do? That's what I was asked. They can't understand why. Because it's my channel. And if I want to talk in a monotone voice and suck on a helium balloon, I could do that too, because it's my channel.
Yeah, so hey, you might want to run a listener to from our friends living in rural areas.
Yeah, shortwave's a lot better in rural areas. That's the lesson. I'd love to be on a mountaintop, nobody around for about 1,000 miles. That'd be kind of fun. Probably wouldn't be tremendous at surviving it, but it'd be a lot of fun. Oh, that would be cool. Nobody around for 1,000 miles. Have a helicopter drop off supplies once a month. Damn.
All of that.
I already said today that I would be a professional hermit. If there was a league, the Professional Hermits Association, the PHA, two hands would be on the leaderboard.
Small pond will get big.
I would be the Tiger Woods of hermits, but I digress. It's our local station that you You heard 4 times now.
All those DVs that have come
Here's
out of there.
1070 The Fan, Indianapolis. Now we're into shortwave. What a fantastic radio. This is just, this is amazing. Absolutely amazing, fun radio. It's back in the 80s when Sony was absolute, just oozing quality. And this is it. And they haven't started with that real tinny sounding speakers and things like that. They haven't started that yet. The 7600 GR has a real tinny sound to it. I'd get ear fatigue with it. It's a great radio. Don't get me wrong. It is a great radio. One of the top 5 radios. But for the audio end of it, to my ears anyway, it's not all that good. It's okay. Can you remedy that with an external speaker? Sure you could. You can remedy things a whole host of ways, but just as the radio sits, this DS has a much nicer audio. I like that soft touch buttons. It's just, and there's the main switch is off now, so you can't accidentally bop stuff and make things happen. If you want to enter in, it does have a memory section that I don't use. If you want to enter it in, you hold the enter button down and pick a preset where you want a channel to go. Very easy to use. I actually didn't read the manual very much on this at all. The only manual available is just for the D model. It's close enough. But I did gloss over it because I wanted to kind of educate myself a little bit with it. And what an absolute fantastic radio. And this is just in that genre, the year, whatever I'm looking for the words, that it's just what I really, really like. This is the good stuff and the good old days, and you'll not find one like this. A new radio today with this kind of quality, I just don't think you will. Yes, the Texan PL880, yes, the Sangene 909X, all those radios, I don't think any of those will last 33, 34 years. I think they will be broken and falling apart in 33 or 34 years. This stuff was built to last, and you paid a premium price for it too. And back then, I don't know how much this cost, MSRP. I couldn't find that information on it. Found the other stuff that we've already covered. But yeah, I can see why the D model was rated 4.9 out of 5 on eham.net. Yes, sir, I can see it. It's that good. It is a dandy. Mac, thank you, sir. I really, I am still speechless at your generosity. And that goes for anybody. Bob and Chuck and JJ Coolhouse and I hope I probably left some other people out, and I apologize. I appreciate all your generosity. It's amazing. And but this is Mac's turn today. It is a doozy, I'll tell you. What a heck of a radio. The only negative to the whole thing is there's no kickstand on the back. You need to have an acrylic stand, any kind of a stand. Doesn't have to be an acrylic stand, but that's what I chose today. The acrylic stand holds it up just perfectly. Now it is designed to lay flat, and the antenna will point straight up. It swivels out and points straight up. So, it's not really a problem. It's just if I had to pick up a negative and say something about it negative, it'd be there's no kickstand. And that's too bad, because it's nice to point that speaker towards your head. And, outside of that, I can't find anything with it. It's absolute fantastic. And I've said that too many times, and now the haters are going to flare up and kill us all. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Why I do this, and people say you didn't say anything just then or whatever, and why I do that is in my head I'm trying to think, what have I forgotten to talk about? What have I left out of all this? And I'm going through that whole flow chart in my head while I talk about nothing. Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave your civil comments below. Make sure, if you have nothing nice to say, thank Mac for donating this radio. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic generosity. I'm still at a loss for words on that. Make sure you thank him, if nothing else. There is a link down in the description box down there where I'm pointing to that you can donate to PayPal. All that money goes to buy radios. If more people donated, we could look at a lot more radios like this quality. And you're welcome. People think they don't have any money to donate. $1, $2, all of it goes to buy radios. And it's all appreciated. I can't stress that enough. And it's the only way the channel keeps going. Is just with people's generosity. Fill the tip jar. That's all I got. Go out and make it a good day. Sony ICF 7600DS. It's an amazing radio. We'll see you at the next review.